one thing that's going to happen is this: awareness. And that's the most important word for today, because one of the things Boosie was not doing that he should have been doing was awareness.
A little more serious news here. A well-known rapper with a big following on social media could be headed back to prison after he pleaded guilty to a gun charge in federal court today.
Boosie was arrested during a traffic stop here in San Diego 2 years ago. CBS 8's Kelly Hezedal joins us live downtown. Kelly, you were in the courtroom. You also spoke to Boosie. What can you tell us?
That's right, and his legal name is Torrence Hatch. Now, a lot of times defendants don't really want to talk to us if they're still going through court proceedings, but he was fine with it. He says he accepts responsibility for what happened, and he's ready to move forward.
I want to put it behind me. I want to get it behind me and get on with my life. You know, it's a lot of things this case has stopped me from doing, traveling all across the world, making. So I just want to get it over with, and, you know, accept my guilty plea. I'm ready to get over it.
Anything you want to say to your fans?
Just say a prayer for me. I just need prayer. I don't need nothing else. Yeah.
And his attorney provided us this video of him performing on stage. Now, Hatch, known as Boosie to his fans, now awaits sentencing. He's a father of 9 kids. His fiancée was with him in court today. So some background on this case. It stems from a traffic stop in San Diego in May 2023. Hatch was arrested in Choias View after police found 2 guns inside a vehicle he was riding in. Now, the state charges were eventually dropped, but the feds then pursued a case against him because he was a convicted felon in possession of a firearm, which violates federal law. Now, the 42-year-old rapper announced earlier this month on social media that he was going to take a plea deal. And so this morning he went before a judge and entered that guilty plea. So here is what his defense attorney told me outside court.
I am optimistic for Mr. Hatch. He, as you just explained, wanted nothing more than to accept responsibility and put this behind him. And now it's my job to make sure the court understands the scope of the case and what the case is really about. And more importantly, all of the amazing things that Mr. Hatch has done for the community, continues to do, and the amazing things that he will do going forward.
And Hatch currently lives in Atlanta. Now, he faces a maximum of 15 years behind bars. His defense attorney did not disclose any parts of the plea agreement or any details about it, but the judge made it very clear today, regardless of what's in that plea agreement, it is the sentencing judge who will have the final say. So the sentencing hearing is set for November 21st, which is just days after Hatch's birthday. Anna, Carlo.
Kelly, one thing you mentioned is that state charges were dropped here and the feds picked up the case. What else can you tell us about how this case moved its way through the system?
Yeah, and there was a lot of back and forth, and some of that had to do with the fact that the U.S. Supreme Court recently made a decision basically stating that you cannot prevent people who were convicted of non-violent crimes of owning firearms. So at the end of the day, Hatch could have continued fighting this charge, but as you heard him say, he's ready to move on with his life. He does not want to continue for this to drag out in court.
Yeah, he wants to move on with his life and get back to work. It's holding him back, sounds like. Okay, thanks so much for that, Kelly.
Now, here's where it's all opinion-based, right? You could say, Boosie, you in another hood, you in California. California known for robbing, jacking, stealing, killing, all of that stuff. So it would make sense, me as a person, as a figurehead, as whatever it is, as a street dude. I come here to rap. I come here to do songs. Hey, I'm going to ride through y'all hood. I'm going to kick it with y'all and all that. But I don't trust y'all. That's one thing that Baton Rouge has taught a lot of these cats. Trust me, I used to stay over the bridge in Port Island. I know a little bit about Baton Rouge, Freely Lucas. But one thing that exists is tax brackets. Tax brackets. Boosie, you in the upper echelon of tax brackets, bro. Like, let's be honest. Let's be fair. There's a quote that came out that said, if I gotta be somewhere where I need to have a gun, I don't need to be there. And it's those rules of life that people tend to ignore that screw over everybody. Boosie, if you really felt like Hey, bro, I need to have my gun over here, but it's more gangster if I have mine. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that now more than ever, you're more educated on certain things that happen in California and how it operates and why certain things don't happen anymore? Technology, bro. When a person decides to grab a phone and start doing all this and, wanting to be their own celebrity and show you how they get it in life and show you the fruits of their labors and connections and all of these things and all that, sometimes it's a cool thing. It's nothing wrong with somebody pulling out a phone and going, hey, bro, I'm chilling with this person, that person, this person, that person, so y'all look connected. It brings a lot of attention. Bring some women you might like. Bring some homies you might be cool with. Uplift some homies that's in jail that get to see some of this stuff and be like, that's my dog, bro. They kicking it with Boosie. Boosie in the hood. Boosie is a street celebrity. But there's jail cats and there's street cats. And Boosie missed the whole entire thing. The goal of every street dude, in my opinion, should be to stay in the streets and not in jail. Boosie went out sad and his career might be over because how can we sit, and I'm not trying to chastise him, but how can we sit and hear a person say they a boss and not employ people to keep you safe? Just asking. Just asking. Boosie, in my opinion, it looked like Boosie probably about to get 18 months. Being fair, bro. I think Lil Boosie about to get 18 freaking months, bro. He go in November, come out win. So he'll be blessed if he gets something like a year and some change, and whatever. Technically, it'll be year and some change. But he'd be blessed if he only got like 6 months or a year or something like that. Boosie be right back home. Now, because of Boosie's situation medically, I hope that's what his lawyer went in there and beat the drum on and argued and all this stuff. Because part of that traffic stop showed the judge and showed the state something, or the feds, the government, pardon me, not the state, the feds something. What did it show them? Boosie said he had diabetic attack or diabetic shock or something like that. And, they had to take care of him right there. He had to walk him through certain things. The government can't have that. If Boosie don't have ample care, can't take care of himself, Boosie gonna die. So there's that. So hopefully his lawyers are pushing about his conditions, because honestly, I'm gonna be fair. I like Boosie. Now to be fair, be even more fair, when Boosie and Webby was coming up, I liked Webby more than Boosie. I'm just gonna be honest. Bro. That don't mean take away anything from Boosie, but y'all know when y'all see the duos and all that stuff, like remember when we seen Double Dragons, you like the red guy, you like the blue guy, you see Ken and Ryu, if you like Ken or if you like Ryu, like those things exist. There's nothing wrong with that, supporting who we support. But Boosie, bro, it's going to get to a point where people have to ask you, what lessons are you teaching that you're actually living? Now, if you move like a boss, then do that. Do you know how much more love Boosie actually would get if he would have had like 4 people out there, security and all that? Do y'all know that street dudes, gang members, gang bangers, whatever people call themselves these days, bro, they actually like that a little bit more, because anybody who got a gun now, they ain't got to shoot theirs. That's all on the security. Ops ain't coming around when they see them black vests, them mask up, them guns they carrying, and they strolling, and they strolling, because y'all gonna be like, oh no, you just said some disrespectful stuff, bro. I'm gonna say a whole bunch of stuff. They got their guns, they patrolling, they walking through. You know what I'm saying? They basically securing everything. Everybody is safe for that moment. They are. Bruh, Boosie, it might be done because you ain't learned your lesson as a flourishing human being first, as a father. It's disappointing, bro. It's It's disappointing. Is this a freaking point, bro? Because we've all watched the trials and tribulations of Boosie. Bro was on death row. I don't think people hear or pay attention to Boosie's story enough because he's able to be funny. He's able to show his wittier side, you know, say certain things that certain people can't say, but they want to say. Like, let's just be fair, bro. But I fear it might be over. His career might be over because he might not come out of this alive. His career might be over because we got to question those who are giving us the knowledge from your actions. Forget all this talking online. People going to talk online because you're going to feel some type of way and feel like people shouldn't be talking to you like that. We are all victims of it. Lord knows I just went through it this whole entire week. But with a moment of reflection, that's where you had to sit back and understand it all. But y'all, let me know y'all thoughts on this one, man. I know y'all seen the online drama and all that crap and everything, but I had to tell y'all something, bro. I'm playing defense. I ain't start nothing. Everybody can finish it the way they want to do, but in that middle part right there, bro, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. And if you disagree, then you disagree, and that's perfectly fine. But one thing we always going to do, we going to keep on pushing out this content reloaded.